Live from Factory Underground Radio, it's Strictly Adapted with Quixote and Kate. You're on.
Y'all.
Hello. Welcome.
Factory Underground Radio, Scriptly Adapted. I'm your boy Quixote. Welcome to the show, y'all. It is Saturday, not the most beautiful day outside.
No.
It's a little crappy.
It is.
A little crappy.
It's cold.
It's cold. It's damp.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting. This isn't what I thought spring would be. But
Well, you know what they call this month?
what do they call it?
A shoulder season.
The what?
So it's a facility maintenance industry. It's a
Lord.
facility management industry term. It's called a shoulder season.
So today, guys, we do have a guest.
We do. Our
the
first guest in actually a
show.
while.
Got a guest. Special guest.
Wait.
During our couples segment of the week.
Wait, I hate to say this. I think I prefer the other applause panel.
Kate, I don't want to hear
I
you.
said-
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Which is right now not a whole lot of
Yeah.
anything.
But let's give it up for Kate for admitting that she actually likes the other button. Yeah. Let's give it up.
Oh, good Lord. Well, hey.
We did have some sad news. Val Kilmer,
I know.
the great actor Val Kilmer, he passed away this week due to some complications with, I believe he had throat cancer. He was in the last scene in a film that I've seen. He was in the Top Gun movie.
What you got for me?
He's-
You over there with the computer. I can't.
Well, I mean, if you brought your iPad once in a while, maybe
whoa.
you would have some news.
Whoa, fighting words.
Maybe you would have some news.
Fighting words. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yes, y'all. Welcome back. This is Scriptly Adapted on Factory Underground Radio. I am your boy Quixote. Welcome back to the show, y'all.
Hello.
It is Saturday. We're here in the studio. Like I promised, like I said earlier on the show, we have a guest.
We have a guest.
We have a guest today, y'all.
Where's your applause panel?
No, I'm going to do the applause. I'm going to get there.
Come
I'm going to
on.
get there.
I'm excited because I like the applause panel.
I got to do a proper introduction
You do. This is true.
of this gentleman.
This is correct.
We have a great man here who's changed many lives. And I'm not just saying that. He
No,
has changed
it's true.
many. He has changed many lives. We have Greg Watson, founder and owner of Elite Life and Fitness in Scarsdale, New York. Let's give it up for him, y'all. Let's give it up. Greg, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming out and gracing us with your presence, man.
Coyote Kate, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Came all the way to Norwalk from
All the way to
listen,
Norwalk,
I
from
enjoy it. I
Scarsdale
appreciate that.
area. Greg, tell us a little bit about who you are, Elite, what you do, and then we'll hop into some of the topics of the day.
Yeah.
All right, so who am I?
Yeah, who
I'm loaded because I'm a man of many talents, and so what defines me, I guess, more so is the passion that I have for people and what I do. It just evolved because it was grew up in the South, with parents, grandparents. Everybody kind of lived on the same street. So when you have a personality like that with a lot of family around, you get a lot of support, right? So you get a couple of mothers who are aunts and uncles and things like that. So it kind of grounds you. So anyway, coming from a small area, you're just kind of really close-knit and you understand community because it's a small community, small town in Georgia. And from there, I ventured out, went in the military and started my education. And the funny story about the health and fitness side of it was that I used to always just love fitness, but I think it evolved more so when I was getting into sports, right? And I was becoming very competitive. But one thing happened about it was that I was not as tall as everyone else. But it was one factor that I loved that I could kind of do for myself is I can become stronger. Like I used to watch the old powerlifting movies, all of the TV shows with Arnold Schwarzenegger, things like that. And you just see these bodies that were built and that were strong. And it was something that was drawn to me about them being so. Quick story that my cousin who lived next door to us, which is my mom's sister, one boy, Darren, he had a weight bench. And I would walk over and see him lifting weights because he played football.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, can I work out with you? And from that moment on, it just kind of started this chain reaction of fitness. Like, what can I do to become better? So then I was always really athletic and then involved in a lot of those sports. My first gym at the age of 18.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that. Yep.
I was working for the local Walmart, and the manager there started one of the small gyms in the area. And it was probably one or two, and it was no more than, I would say, 1,500 to 2,000 square foot, very small.
Okay.
And not many people came because during that time frame, most people didn't care about
No,
lifting
correct.
weights,
Yeah,
right?
it was different, right?
So
yeah.
I would sit in there and go through the magazines, the fitness magazines, and one or two people come in and you help them out. But it kind of just put in my vision of longevity of, I love this.
Right.
I would leave the store where I work to come there to do off hours just because I enjoy the environment.
Speaking of that, that's a great segue because when you talk about your management of that small gym, how did that early experience kind of shape your leadership style today? Owning your own gym and business, dealing with other coaches, being able to minister, but also lead people from a business aspect, but also from a faith aspect.
Well, I would say that gave me the ability to kind of see how the nature of business went. Now, granted, I had the formal education of getting a business degree, and when I did that, I wasn't anticipating going into business.
Right.
But as I moved around and lived in different areas, simply because of the military, you go from gym to gym and from space to space. You go from high-end luxury gyms to corner gyms that are on a storefront, and you realize that there is this gap between people who are in gyms, which even goes back to when I started, versus people who need to utilize the tools that a gym offers. And then there's this access problem, like intimidation, or I can't go in here because I'm not fit, and then that's the whole hurdle, or I don't look like that gym community. So there's these trepidations that people have that you kind of got to overcome. And then you also understand that some people need more guidance to get there. So I go, look, I can do this better. I can figure out how to keep good, talented people who really are there to support and are passionate about what they're doing, as well as give them the community who are looking for the help and give the community access.
Greg.
Well, I kind of wanted to go into, sort of leading into the accountability with couples and how that dynamic works is, what has been some challenges that you faced working with either couples or individuals, like guiding them on their health journey? Any like pushback, any things you've seen that are like the constant, like, okay, I've heard this before. Like I see what's going on. Like those constant like pushes where they never actually maybe reached their goal or they were struggling to get there. Any like major things that you've noticed?
It is constant in our sector and in our industry. But one thing I do know that there's two main factors you're dealing with people. You have to be passionate about, I want them to change. And a lot of times when you go into fitness, if you're going to be a good coach or a good trainer, you have to believe in their ability to achieve the goals that they're set, right? Fitness and health and wellness is a beautiful thing because once that starts to happen, the switch triggers this. When you start seeing the changes, you're addicted to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That is true. Yes,
Yeah, man.
that is
And
true.
You become hungry because once that ball gets into motion, it's so empowering for you to see the work you've done on yourself and the confidence you have in yourself. It's almost like you see a person metamorph from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and it's a beautiful thing. So I enjoy that journey with you, and I always feel most fulfilled from that. And the main thing is look, I'm not limiting you, but we're going to push every session. Every time we can train together, every time we can do something together, we need to make progress. Those little bits of progress really pushes you forward. And again, once they get there and they feel like, oh, I can do anything, it translates into their spiritual life, their home life, their family life, their work. It's a motivating factor that comes from within that can be built doing fitness or exercising.
Hood shaped the way you lead in not only your business, but maybe in personal life when you're interacting with others? Has being a father shaped your leadership outlook in any way?
It caused me to look through other people's eyes. And I didn't do that before. Like when I was younger, I was really young when I first had my first set of kids. And what ended up happening was I was so fixated on, hey, I want this, I got to do this, I got to do this. I never stopped and tried to view life of where they're going, what they wanted, and what they saw. And because of that, it makes you this bull, right? You're
Right.
just spearheading forward. And then now with them, I'm older and able to now sit and just watch how they see and what they see. And because of that, I always kind of sit back and try to do that with people now.
We got owner, founder Greg Watson here in the studio of Elite Life Fitness in Scarsdale, New York, joining us here at Scriptly Adapted on the Factory Underground Radio, gracing us with his presence and guiding us and giving us some gems and telling us about his business and about how, who he is, where he's come from, what his path has been to lead him to where he is now, to stay healthy and fit as a couple. Things we can do, things we can read, how we interact, what we actually do. What's your immediate reaction and what's your game plan when you're talking to these people?
Okay, initial assessments. All right, you go, is it a goal set? Is it a lifestyle you're trying to change? Are you doing this together? Or are you doing it corporately or individually together? Because it's not the same thing. End result of either muscle gain or weight loss is different, then their diets are going to be different. So you can't go, okay, you guys both get the same program, you both get the same meal plan, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work that way because if you're losing weight and you're gaining muscle, they're not going to match. So you have to make sure they understand that, because a lot of times you go in together thinking you're going to do the same things, and that doesn't work. The way and age and everything else, hormones factor in it. But if your ultimate goal is to, okay, we have this event we want to get to, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, gain muscle, you got these aspects of, okay, we both work out in the morning, blah, blah, blah. You could create a program that you're doing different modalities, but you're working out at the same time. So you got to factor in that, hey, this is going to be challenging because your goals are separate, but together it's going to be difficult because your meal plan and your meal plan aren't the same. So that means the refrigerator, if you're meal prepping, is going to have separate type of meals.
It's true.
All right, separate quantities of meal. And but that's the time aspect that you have to put in. People don't understand.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not just going to go out, have your same diet or nutritional plans and get to the goal set. And especially with your lifting, the type of lifting that you're doing, now it's going to dictate your macros. Only yes, protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So the work that goes into Sunday evening is, oh my gosh, we got a meal prep. We got a meal prep.
Yeah.
Right? So you're spending, you bought everything at the grocery store the day before, and you go in, then you have to cook it, you have to prep it.
What I'm doing today.
Right. So it's a lot. It's involved. So I try to get the couples to know, okay, this is not just I'm going to work out together, we're going to sweat. It's a journey of figuring out what are our goals, what is going to take to get there, and then the time management of preparation to execute them properly.
Married to the lovely Gail Watson. What is a way that she has been able to support you in being a founder and owner of not only a literal gym, but just the overall arching vision of Elite?
Gail takes my leadership. She knows that I'm an expert in what I do with who we work with. And with that level of expertise, she always asks, okay, what should I be doing? Do you believe I can do more? So that's what she does. And it's the level of empowerment that I get. That's just enough to go, okay, get up, take a deep breath, refocus, let's keep going.
Right.
The aspect of faith, right? And couples we know, and obviously and stuff like that. We practice this, and we try to practice this as well as we can in our daily lives. But how important is that aspect for couples to find that when it comes to encouragement and hearing the person out and understanding where they're coming from? How do you incorporate that into that part of
that being faith?
That being faith, yeah.
Well, I would say always start with the aspect of your faith, even though it may not be at the same perspective. Your faith is still that trust and belief that, God is who he says he is. He will do what he says he will do. And then you increase that by the faith level of someone, out of the two. It's really still stretching out and on faith. I take it as a simple analogy. And I do this with fitness. I go, okay, so we're going to do an exercise, but I'm going to spot you. It's going to be heavier than you think you're able to do, right? But when I spot you, it's a psychological spot. It's not actually a physical spot. And I can tell you, I'm telling you I'm doing this, but the psyche still works in this factor. I put my hands underneath the bar or close to you. That factor of safety and security automatically builds confidence.
Right.
Oh, he spotted
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you actually do the lift.
I got this.
And
Right.
then,
Exactly.
So it immediately switches you to be able to press, push, or squat or move harder with less resistance because you're encouraged by the fact that someone's there.
When it comes to
Right.
the N word, nutrition. When it comes to nutrition, is there a general rule? Because I know everyone's different in terms of what they can have, what they can, and so on, and what will affect their body and not. But when it comes to nutrition, is there a general rule in terms of what to just stay away or limit?
But you need to go with, I would say, 3 basic rules for yourself. Number 1, you never order, never try to look at things that are your weakness. Number 2, know what your macros are before you go. Be aware of calories, empty calories, which means are in alcoholic beverages and drinks. What you're trying to do is curve behavior so you can align with the goals you had
Right.
inside and outside of things that's beyond your control.
Absolutely.
Right? And I always tell people there's 2 aspects of it, your physical life and your fitness life, making these choices, but then it also goes into your spiritual life, the same choices.
Right. Right.
You don't go and do things that you would not normally do if you chosen to live a lifestyle through Christ that you said I wasn't going to do.
Oh, great. Well, first off, thank you
Yes.
for being on the show, giving us great insight on things to do as a couple.
Absolutely.
Things, who you are and where you've come from in your journey to now, how you operate as a person in your business and your personal life. But here at Scriptly Adapted, we are, at the end of the day, a film genre show. And we have to ask you this question. And this is always one of the questions we ask at the end of the show to our guests is, you're locked. Well, not locked. You're on an island by yourself. Right? Nothing to work out with, so I can't give you that. So you can't entertain yourself that way. And you got one TV set, a Blu-ray disc player.
Not a Blu-ray disc
Blu-ray
player.
disc.
Oh
Gotta be
my
a Blu-ray,
lord!
right?
Might as well have said
I
VHS.
should have been a
Like-
Blu-ray disc. It was a Blu-ray. It's a night. It's a
Oh
Blu-ray
my
disc.
gosh!
And you had
What's
the
he
choice.
plugging that into?
Don't get into technicalities. And you had one option of a film that you can bring on that island and watch until till your final days.
Not the final.
What would that film be, and why?
Oh my gosh, that's it. The thing about film is that I'm a person who enjoys the quality and value of what I watch whenever I watch. Like the people who are in the South could relate to this movie so well as a child, The Color Purple. And I wouldn't say I would really watch it over and over again, but it was the only movie that came to mind where you remember parts of the movie and you remember the acting and you remember the people who played the roles in the movie. And it was so relatable during that time frame, right? And so it was a lot of take home of that movie. And if you growing up Black in the South, you can almost say just parts of the movie and someone else could finish it.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So those are movies like that, I think, that take longevity in the terms of memory.
Greg, this has
was
been
awesome.
amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Greg Watson here at Scriptly Adapted on Factory Underground Radio from Elite Life and Fitness in Scarsdale, New York. Greg, plug whatever you got in
do
terms
it.
of your business, where it is, where people can find you, social medias if you're on that, all that good stuff.
And you can find
Websites.
us at I'm Elite New York. If you Google it, it's just going to IamEliteNewYork.com. There's a lot of information there of who we are, what we're doing. On Facebook, you can follow Elite Life and Fitness. Anything Elite Life and Fitness that you Google will come up to all our social media aspects.
Nice.
Now, what are we doing? We're working hard on navigating people through their fitness journeys. And I always tell people all the time, Elite Life and Fitness is a lifestyle of fitness. With the elite aspect, it's not the elitist, it's the elite aspect of having experts guide you and to help you longevity.
That was great.
We had Greg Watson, owner, founder of Elite Life Fitness in Scarsdale, New York. If you're looking to get your body right, mind right, and institute some faith into your life,
Absolutely.
that's the place to go. And when I say the man knows what he's talking about, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely,
Knows what he's
100%.
talking about.
Yep.
But welcome back to the show, y'all. We have our Black Exploit film of the day. film of the day, y'all. I'm bringing you, and it's not necessarily a blaxploit film, but it kind of talks about the elements of what blaxploitation films are. And it was a very good choice. Kate actually picked. I didn't even think
was a suggestion.
I didn't think about this film, but this is probably one of my favorite Spike Lee films, and one of his probably underrated. And it didn't do well at the box office either, but it was considered a cult classic, and selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress.
Wow.
As being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. This film is Bamboozled, y'all. Bamboozled. The 2000 American satirical black comedy drama film written and directed by none other than the great Spike Lee is Minstrel Show, which is crazy, right? Featuring black actors donning black face makeup and resulting in violent fallout from the show's success. It features an ensemble cast including Damon Wayans, Jada Pinkett Smith, Savion Glover, Tommy Davidson, and Michael Rappaport. The film was given a limited release by New Line Cinema during the fall of 2000 and was released on DVD the following year. Critical reception was mixed, of course. I don't think a lot of people knew what to make of the film. And the film was unsuccessful financially, becoming a box office bomb, what they call it.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, box office bomb. Despite the initial reception, Bamboozled later achieved cult film status for a satirical look at stereotypical depictions of black people in both historical and contemporary American film and television production. Yes, y'all. This is the Gap Band just jamming out.
You know, I really like them a lot.
The Gap Band
I really
early in the
do.
morning. They make hits. They were making hits, man. These were hits like you just vibe to. Bop to.
It's true.
Gonna be alright. Yeah. Welcome back to Scriptly Adapted, yo. We've had a full show.
We did.
We had a guest on, Greg Watson, from Elite Life and Fitness from Scarsdale, New York, gave us some tips on how to be together in this fitness journey, how to be healthy, how to eat healthy, how to kind of navigate if you are going out tonight, how to look at that menu. And down the show here, Scriptly Adapted, and we got our artist highlight of the week of the month.
The month.
And we bring in you, none other than...
Wait. I'm introducing the artist.
You introduced. I'm
Sheesh.
sorry. I was moving ahead. I'm moving ahead.
Okay, you're gonna do a panel?
Eh?
A button panel?
Yeah, you don't have to say that.
I don't know. Your thumb is awkward.
Yeah, but don't, you don't
okay,
have to pre-announce.
All right, well, I'm
You're
just.
pre-announcing.
I didn't know what to
Don't-
do because
don't pre-announce.
But the thing was, I didn't know if I should start or if you were gonna do that
just
first.
don't pre-announce.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all.
Here we go. James Ambrose Johnson Jr.,
Also
better
known
known as, if you don't stop rushing me, Rick James.
Yes, y'all. I'm Rick James. Rick James. Keep it locked in on our website, scriptlyadapted.com, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at scriptlyadapted. Our artist highlight of the month, Rick James. We're coming at you with Cold-Blooded. Thank you for joining us, y'all. From me, Kyote, and from Kate.
Toodles.
Keep it locked in, y'all. And then until next time, peace. You hear this,
Wait,
Rick James?
I know, but next week,
What's next week?
big show, y'all.
Our year anniversary.
Year anniversary.
Our year anniversary
of
here
our
at
show
Factory. Here at Factory Underground Radio, y'all. So keep it locked in next week, y'all. Peace. Rick James, Cold-Blooded. With you being the owner and founder of Elite, what's been the proudest moment
Oh, good
of
question.
you
I love it.
since the inception of Elite to now? Is there something that stands out to you as like the moment?
Okay, so the biggest part of this is because it's a journey. It is a journey of love and labor of love, and it has evolved. And I was in my prayer time this morning, and when I take that time, it's just time to reflect and be thankful and do gratitude. And a lot of times when you're not where you want to be, you can get frustrated. And that has happened through this process. But then when I look back on their stagnant times, I saw growth within me, and I saw growth within the company of where I could see where we're going. So it expanded the vision. And every time that happened, expanded the vision. So I look back and reflect and go, okay, wow, this is in place, and we're continually moving forward.
You were just listening to Scriptly Adapted on Factory Underground Radio and Live 365. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Scriptly Adapted.